Hey Scorpio, so this is going to be your reading for the end of March and the beginning of April 2017. My name is Dre. Thank you guys so much for all of your support, especially you guys. You guys and like Sagittarius and Capricorn, you guys like to watch my videos the most, and I really appreciate it. Follow my Twitter; it's under construction. Maybe I should stop advertising it because I'm like at this point in my life where I'm doing like a million different things, succeeding, varying degrees of success. And like my that Twitter account is like probably on the least successful aspect of what I'm doing right now. But if you guys want to like follow it and like tweet me questions or like email me questions or whatever, and I can do like a twice monthly or a monthly sort of thing where I like answer questions on here. One, people always ask me why my name is Wavy Teeth on here. One, I got it because it makes no sense. And two, because my teeth are just wavy a little bit because I ate a lot of sugar as a kid. So, I mean, whatever. So, yeah. You guys' last reading, and also if you want a reading, I'm leaving all the information in the description box. I think I'll just leave those as my prices, just because they make sense. Because I was gonna have it be a special, but I'm like, no, you know what? They should be like actual prices because I think it's very affordable and it makes a lot of sense. And plus, my readings are. They're pre-recorded, and I send you like an email link, or not an email link, a YouTube link that only you can see. So yeah. I guess now I see why some tarot readers do their readings off camera, or their cards off camera. Kind of ruins the surprise, because I know you guys see these cards. Oh boy. So yeah, in your last reading, Scorpio, again, I've had a consistent message for you guys since like the entire time I've been doing these readings on my channel, where it's just like, well, I will say this reading is slightly different because I feel like things are actually sort of changing compared to the last reading, where it was just more like recognizing. I'm trying to think back to it. Yeah, it was like recognizing what needed your attention and what didn't. Just opening yourselves up. So I always get it's all about like opening yourselves up to like the love that you deserve, the love that you want. And it's a challenge for everybody. And I feel like for you guys, it's probably a really big lesson coming into 2017. Recognizing what you want. Not getting stuck in your dark place, but I'll continue. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Ace of Cups reversed. We have the Eight of Cups. We have the Ten of Swords. The Tower. The Seven of Cups. Star in reverse. The Hierophant in reverse. And I think you guys had, if the Hierophant was in reverse in the last reading, it was definitely in that last reading. The Seven of Swords. This one might have been two, I don't remember. Six of Swords reversed. Ace of Wands reversed. And Justice reversed. Alright, so we have two aces, even if they are reversed, and we have three major arcana. Two cups, three swords. We have four major arcana, excuse me. Um, okay, I'll just start from the beginning. Well, I'll start with the Ace of Cups reversed as the overall energy. Okay, I'm gonna ask you guys a question. It's like all of your emotional energy right now, is it going towards something that is going to is it sustainable? I very much get the sense, of course, that things are coming to a head, things are changing, or they will change if they haven't. A sudden realization. I'm gonna pull a card for that Tower. Um, I want to get a little bit specific about what this is. And I see it's going to be a part of yourself, a part of what you're going through that's going to be revisited. Again, it won't leave. It's going to be revisited. It's an energy that's going to carry away from this reading going into the future. All of this here. And we have the High Priestess that came out for it. The Tower. So, interesting. So I feel like this is going to be a very now I don't know. Okay, I'll just say it. Like I think this is mainly going to be love focused, and that's been again another major theme for you guys. It's like explicitly love, or it's like explicitly family, or it's explicitly work. Um, and I feel like for you guys now, this is going to be like a really important transitional period. Because I'm getting the sense that, your emotions are all over the place. And you might be either withholding yourself or taking out your frustrations on other people. And I see you guys as like you're trying to find, or what the lesson will be going forward is going to be to sort of suss out what matters and what doesn't. Like, the Death card isn't here, but we have this 10 here signaling completion. And you guys always have an ace. I feel like you guys have the Ace of Wands like a couple readings ago, or a few readings ago. But either way, I'm getting the sense that you have to. There's going to be a part. It's going to be important for you guys to try to find your emotional center, to find what grounds you, to find what stabilizes you, to find out what actually matters. Because a situation is coming up or has happened that has sort of forced you to decide whether you want to leave or whether you want to stay, whether you want to continue to invest so much work and so much energy, emotional work and emotional energy into someone or something. But I feel like it's a very taxing process. Now, this Tower doesn't have to be something like, it doesn't have to literally be like you get fired or your house burns down or something like that. But it's going to be a much needed moment of clarity. Somebody else might actually walk out on you. Like if some of you haven't been as attentive to a lover as you should have been, or to a friend, they're gonna figure out that they have to cut that off from you, or you them. And I feel like out of that there's gonna come this huge moment of clarity. But it's not something that you're gonna take easily. Of course, nobody does. And I feel like because of this, like, okay, it could be somebody gets injured, like a close family member gets hurt, something happens where, like, I don't know, I'm thinking car crash, something like that, and it's probably, it affects you. If it's not happening to you, it's directly affecting you, because I'm getting the sense that whatever somebody else did, like, one, it was behind your back, or two, it's just karma for what you've done to them. And so I see it now as being an important moment for you guys to sort of move beyond that, even though that's a very difficult I mean, it's not anything that you can really move beyond. It's something that you can work with the Six of Swords in reverse, where it's like we have to revisit the troubled water. We have to go back to a square one, essentially, before we're able to understand what all of this means to us in the larger scale. And you won't understand what it means right now. Because right now, a lot of you are probably just crying, or you're probably arguing with somebody, or you're emotionally cut off. You're withholding. You might be trying to drown your sadness or numb the pain in a different way, to sort of ignore what happened. Because I feel like regardless of what happened, you're still going to like carry this pain with you. Excuse me. I'm also getting some bitterness, some resentment. So if somebody like sort of made you walk out, or if you feel like you're pressured to like sort of leave a relationship, whether it's a romantic relationship, a love relationship, or if like a family member has totally cut you off or shut you down, if somebody very close to you did that, I see you as, it's going to be important for you not to be bitter about it. It's going to be so important for you to understand that things happen as they do for a reason. And that's so the Tower is all about, a lot of the older tarot readers love the Tower. I don't, because I'm still relatively young. So I'd rather not see my life come to a screeching halt or shatter into a million pieces. But when this happens, it's not just our life that's doing this. Like, it's not like everything's going to shit around us. It's also like this is the thing we needed for our crown chakra, for our ego, for our brain to sort of really see things in a different way. Because especially if we've been ignoring lessons, if we've been ignoring like telltale signs that something needed to change, it will change. It will come crumbling down because it wasn't meant to live. It wasn't meant to stay. It wasn't meant to exist. And, the card before the Tower is the Devil. So it's like all this unconscious energy, these things that we do as primal species, as humans, as our lower animal brain, that sort of thing, that leads to our downfall, that leads to our ego death. And I feel like because of this, either somebody's called you out on it or you call somebody else out on it, where they're just like, I can't take this anymore. I just don't want to do this anymore. And that's not anything yet that you're going to be able to understand right now. I'm going to tell you that. Some of you might actually be like, after you've worked with this, after you've worked through all of the emotions, because, Scorpios, you're deep. And you're also investigative. So I see this as that energy. You're like pulling yourself into like this sort of, you're pulling yourself into your darkest place. And you're analyzing what happened, what came of it, what happened, what becomes of it, what became of it. Where do you go from here? Where do you go going forward? And the answer ultimately is like, you don't really know. I mean, I'm mainly doing the first row, but I'll get to the second row more in depth in a little bit. But it's like, the choice has been made for you, but it's like, do you want to accept that as a truth? Do you want to accept that going forward? Like, let's say if somebody does break up with you, and it's totally out of the blue, or you realize somebody's been cheating on you. It's like, and they break up with you. It's like, you can either take this as like a sign that you are free now to sort of, pursue what you want, go after your own goals, like especially if you were dependent upon somebody, or if this person, you felt like emotionally very like attached to them. Again, the Devil. Again, it's not even in this deck. Sorry to keep bringing it up, but it precedes the Tower, and it's that sort of energy where there has to be sort of clarity for our sins. How do I describe a sin? Well, I'm not a theologian, and I'm not particularly religious, so whatever a sin means to you, or whatever it means to like just not live in your best way possible, to not live in your best light, and that could even mean like not living authentically as yourself, or being, overly dependent upon somebody when, and there's nothing wrong with being being with somebody as a union, being together with somebody, whether you're dating or married, but it's also like if that other person becomes all of your life, are you valuing your life as you should? I have no idea where any of that came from, but that's sort of the energy where I'm getting. It's like it's important for you to value your life and your choices and what you want to do. And maybe for some of you, this newfound freedom is overwhelming, or because of this, what's happening here is sort of like really knocks you out of balance. And in a way, you become sort of, you become a victim to it. But it's also more like it's sort of dashing your dreams. It's like it's impossible for you to understand where to go forward from here. And I feel like this is all going to be a huge undertaking for a lot of you guys to sort of realize, especially when the sun, Mars is in Taurus right now as I'm recording this. So right now, for a lot of you, it's like you probably feel like you're working against yourself. It's like you're facing a lot of resistance or opposition right now. And I feel like that will become clearer when the sun goes into Taurus, which is your opposite sign, where it's like you'll understand what needs, at least in terms of your relationships and your commitments and your plans, like what needs to be on more solid ground, especially if you're married to somebody or if you're engaged or if you've been in a long-term relationship. It's more like what is sustainable and what isn't, what can be made practical and what's not, what's all a figment of your imagination and your paranoia or your self-fulfilling prophecies. Is it more of that? Is it more of you being in your own head? Or is it actually, okay, I'm not seeing this person for what they are. They can't provide for me what I want them to. And again, the head thing can be positive or negative. You might be seeing things as more positive than they are. You might be seeing things as way more negative as they are. But it's going to be important, especially as the sun goes into Taurus, as I said, that to understand that there has to be a practical method, or there has to be a practical, there's steps to things that you not only see in other people, but you have to see reflected in yourself, because that's all what the seventh house is about. Sorry to get too astrological, but it's about how other people are a mirror for ourselves, that we don't exist in a vacuum. We have expectations of other people, and they have expectations of us. And sometimes is it fair to put those expectations on people, or when are they just? When's it fair and when's it not fair? That whole sort of thing. And so for a lot of you, this could involve a marriage that is on the rocks, or just you just totally being dissatisfied with like having to conform to the status quo. That's sort of me injecting my personality into this, but it could totally mean that, or it's just like the conditions around you have like it's not, if you feel like dissatisfied, or if you feel like emotionally drained, or if you feel like, again, like things just aren't going as they are, it's not anything it's something that you can control, but it's dependent upon how you choose to see it. If you're able to see things from like a bigger, more top-down, panoramic, sort of big picture perspective, you might find yourself able to see openings in ways that you hadn't seen before. And I feel like it's going to take that sort of thinking to sort of understand where you actually even plan on going. Do you plan to sort of, again, conform? If you're in a marriage that's not working because you simply think you should be married, is that working for you? Or again, if you're just dating somebody that your parents want you to date, is that really working for you? If you're working at a job that's just, it's secure, but it's not, and it might be paying the bills, but it's not anything that you feel like you are emotionally attached to. And it's something that you feel like, or anything else. It can be a lot deeper than that too, but it's it's something that you feel like doesn't leave you with many options as to where to spread your wings. And that's another message I've been getting a lot for y'all, Scorpio, where it's just like, you want to reach the golden land. You want to reach the promised land, the land of milk and honey. But there's so much, I'm getting the sense of where it's more like internal, external sort of energy, because Scorpio sort of carries that intense energy where you guys can sort of, at least the Scorpios I know, they can sort of like, in small ways, transform the energy of people around them simply by either their presence or what they're saying. Whether it's funny or whether it's like dead serious, like it's just that sort of energy. And so it's going to be, I feel like a lot of you are just in a place right now where you're so comfortable, but it's like everything you don't want in your life has sort of happened. It's sort of manifested around you, like negative people or a shitty workplace, or like I'm seeing like dissatisfied family where just you and your partner could feel like you could be doing so much better, or one person is just like more exhausted or more tired than the other. And again, getting through that is all a matter of choosing to look out for yourself, but also keep an eye on other people. Look out for those closest to you, and really have their interests at heart, but have yourself at heart too. Not to ignore yourself in that process. To understand what crucial sort of, again, with you, Scorpio, it always comes back to love. Are you loving yourself enough? Are you allowing other people to love yourself enough? Are you allowing other people to love you enough? Because I'm also seeing payback, revenge. It's going to be so important for you guys to like not sort of go into that, because I can see now either it's not going to end as you want it to end. Justice will not come out on your side. Karma will be against you. But it's also more like you have enough going on. There's other things that need more tending to. And I see it specifically with at least one other person. Like specifically if you're married or if like you have a child, a parent. I see that really intensely, where it's just like you have to come to terms with the fact that an illusion has been shattered. An illusion has been shattered. A realization has been made. A betrayal has occurred. But either way, it's something that is not anything that you can't deal with, Scorpio, because a lot of this energy right now is karmic. Universal karma as well as personal karma. Sometimes I feel like the universe just sort of gives us things, which is more of the tower, which isn't, it's not a conscious energy, but it's something that sort of does something here where it's just like, oh, okay. I was thinking about how it sort of correlates to Uranus in that respect, but I don't want to get too into astrology, like I said. But it's going to be important for you guys to try to sort of find the opportunities that are there for you. Again, it's always this. It's just like you just have to open your eyes to seeing people and seeing your situation in a different way, Scorpio, because a part of me thinks that all of this has already happened. This Ten of Swords, this Eight of Cups, where you're just like in the state where it's like, oh, okay, this person pissed me off. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to. You're mainly focused on trying to pay them back, but taking out a revenge, maybe for some of you, not for all of you. But it's just like there's this energy that just needs to really be freed. And I really think the Tower and the High Priestess is going to help that. From all this baggage, especially from the readings I've done prior, it's like I really feel like all of that is going to come to a head where it's just like it's going to affect you mentally, emotionally, physically, not really financially. There are no pentacles, which is very weird. But yeah, so it's mainly just in your head and your heart, where it's going to be important for you to sort of realize that things need a slight change of perspective. Because if you're emotionally upset right now, if you're crying, if you feel emotionally isolated, if you feel like backed into a corner, it's important for you to understand why that's happening, what you need to do to fix it. And I see you guys as wanting to do that, needing to do that actually, but to not get drowned in it, to not stay there, and to understand that there is still freedom, because this doesn't, it's not bad, but again, it's not anything that's like super, super amazing. Because there is forward progression here, but it's very tentative. It's very languorous. It's something that is going to drift out of this reading, and it's something that you're going to have to like sort of tap into and understand the further we go. And that's going to take a lot of having a look back on this Tower and this Ten of Swords and this Eight of Cups to sort of understand where you've been, where you are, and where you need to go. Okay, Scorpio, so thank you guys so much for watching this reading. I appreciate all of your likes and shares and your subscribes and your comments. Yeah, just keep being awesome. Thank you guys so much. Bye.